Los Angeles, California. Warner Brothers Studios, Burbank, September 1971. Monday morning, 8:30 a.m. Stage 14 is cold. The air conditioning runs full blast to compensate for the massive lights that will heat the soundstage to 90 degrees once they're all on. Right now, in the pre-shoot quiet, the crew wears jackets, drinks coffee from paper cups, prepares equipment with the efficient silence of professionals who've done this 1,000 times. This is the first day of principal photography for Dirty Harry, the film that will make Clint Eastwood a household name, that will create one of the most iconic characters in American cinema, that will launch a franchise and define a decade of action films. But right now, it's just another cop movie, another production, another job. Don Siegel, the director, sits in his canvas chair reviewing the day's shot list. He's 59 years old, been directing for 25 years, made over 30 films. He knows what he's doing, knows how to run a set, knows how to get performances from actors. He's worked with Clint before. 2 westerns, Coogan's Bluff and 2 Mules for Sister Sarah. Good working relationship, professional, efficient. But this is different. This is a modern police procedural. This is San Francisco, not the Old West. The rhythms are different, the requirements are different. The scene they're shooting today is simple on paper. Harry Callahan walks into the police captain's office, receives his new assignment, argues with the captain about procedure. It's exposition, setup, the kind of scene that happens in every cop film ever made. But Siegel wants it to establish character, wants the audience to immediately understand who Harry Callahan is, a cop who doesn't follow rules, who trusts his instincts over department policy, who will do the right thing regardless of consequences. The other actor arrives first, the one playing the police captain. He's been in dozens of films. Character actor, reliable, professional. He walks onto the set carrying his script, pages folded, highlighted, annotated. He's done his homework, knows his lines cold, ready to rehearse. Siegel greets him. They discuss the scene, the intention behind each line, the subtext, the relationship between captain and detective, the tension that needs to exist. The actor nods, takes notes, asks questions. This is how professionals work. Preparation, discussion, collaboration. 8:45 a.m. Still no Clint. Siegel checks his watch. Not worried yet. Stars are sometimes late. It's annoying but expected. 8:50 a.m. The crew finishes the lighting setup. The set is ready, camera positioned. Marks on the floor where the actors should stand. Still no Clint. 9 a.m. Call time was 8:30. Clint is officially late. Siegel sends an assistant to Clint's trailer. Check if there's a problem. Wardrobe issue? Makeup taking longer than expected? Something. The assistant returns. He's ready. Says he'll be there in 5 minutes. 9:05 a.m. Clint walks onto set. Simple clothes. The costume for the scene. Brown suit, white shirt, no tie. The plainclothes detective look. Nothing flashy, nothing that draws attention. He carries nothing. No script, no notes, no coffee. Just walks in with his hands in his pockets. Siegel stands. Morning, Clint. You ready to block the scene? Sure. You have your script? Don't need it. Siegel pauses. You know your lines? Yeah. Want to run through them before we block? No. The other actor watches this exchange, confused. Every actor he's ever worked with wants to rehearse, wants to discuss, wants to try different approaches before committing to one. But Clint just stands there, calm, present, waiting. Siegel decides not to push it, not yet. Okay, let's block it. You enter here. He points to the door. Walk to the desk. The captain is sitting here. You have your exchange, then you exit here. Clint nods. Got it. Want to walk through it? We can, but I'll probably do it different when we shoot. The other actor can't stay quiet anymore. You don't want to rehearse? Clint looks at him. Not really. Why not? Because I don't know what I'm going to do until the camera is rolling. If I rehearse it, I'll just repeat the rehearsal. It won't be real. The actor's face shows confusion turning to irritation. That's not how this works. We rehearse so we know where we'll be, so the camera knows where to find us, so the scene has shape. The camera will find me, and the scene will have whatever shape it needs. Siegel intervenes, trying to keep peace. Clint, I understand your approach, but we need to give the crew something. The DP needs to know where you'll stand. The boom operator needs to know where the dialogue happens. We can't just wing it. Clint considers this. Okay, I'll walk through the blocking. Show you roughly where I'll be, but I'm not going to rehearse the performance. Fair enough. They walk through the scene. Clint enters, moves to the desk, stands in approximately the right spot. Exits, no dialogue, no emotion, just showing the physical movements. The DP watches, makes adjustments to camera position. The boom operator notes where the dialogue will happen. The other actor is frustrated. In his 30 years of acting, he's never worked with someone who refuses to rehearse. It's unprofessional. It's arrogant. It's insulting to everyone else who's prepared. He pulls Siegel aside, keeps his voice low, but the anger is clear. Don, I need him to rehearse. I need to know what he's going to give me so I can react to it. How am I supposed to act opposite someone who won't show me anything? Siegel understands the frustration. Just do your preparation. Say your lines the way you practiced. React honestly to whatever Clint does. It'll be fine. It'll be a mess. Trust me, I've worked with him before. He knows what he's doing. The actor walks away, not convinced, just trapped. 9:30 a.m., they're ready to shoot. Clint goes back to his starting position, outside the office door. The other actor sits behind the desk, script in his lap even though he knows the lines. A security blanket. Siegel calls action. Clint opens the door, walks in, and something happens. The character appears, not gradually, not through a process of warming up or finding the character, just instantly, completely. Harry Callahan walks into that office. Not Clint Eastwood, not an actor playing a role, the actual character, present, real, dangerous. His walk is different than Clint's normal walk, more deliberate, more controlled, like a man who's always aware of exits and threats and distances. His face is different, harder, the eyes cold and calculating, reading the room, reading the captain, deciding how much respect to show and how much to withhold. He delivers his first line. The voice is different too, lower, flatter, no performance, no technique, just truth. The other actor responds and realizes immediately that he's working with something extraordinary. Clint isn't acting. He's existing as this character, and his own performance needs to match that reality. They finish the scene, 30 seconds of dialogue, one take. Siegel calls cut. The set is silent. Everyone watching knows they just witnessed something unusual. The camera operator looks at the DP. The DP looks at the monitor. He watches the playback, once, twice. Then he says, "Print it." Moving on. The other actor stares. "We're not doing another take?" "Don't need to. That was perfect." "But we didn't rehearse. Shouldn't we try it a few different ways?" "Why? What would be better about take two?" The actor has no answer, because the truth is obvious. Take one was complete, real, perfect. During the lunch break, the actor sits with some crew members, still processing what happened. "I've been doing this for 30 years, he says, "and I've never seen anything like that. He walked in cold, no rehearsal, no preparation that I could see, and he was fully there, in character. How does that work?" The script supervisor, a woman in her 40s who's worked on hundreds of films, answers. "Some actors build the character from the outside in. They rehearse, they workshop, they find the character through repetition. Other actors know the character already. It exists inside them. They access it when needed." But how do you know the character without rehearsing? You know it because you've done the real work, the work nobody sees. Reading the script 50 times, thinking about the character for weeks, living with him in your head until he's as real as you are. Then, when the camera rolls, you don't have to find him. He's already there. The actor is quiet, realizing something. So when he said he doesn't need to rehearse, it's not because he's unprepared. It's because he's already done more preparation than any of us. Exactly. But he didn't show it. Didn't talk about his process. Didn't share his thoughts. Because he doesn't need validation. Doesn't need to prove he's done the work. He just does it and lets the result speak. That afternoon, they shoot a more complex scene. Harry confronts a bank robber. It's the famous "Do you feel lucky, punk" scene. The moment that will define the character and the film. The actor playing the bank robber is young, nervous. This is his first major film. He's been rehearsing for weeks, has the scene memorized, has practiced different line readings, different facial expressions, different ways to show fear. They run through the blocking, the robber on the ground. Harry standing over him with the .44 Magnum, the gun enormous in the frame. The young actor asks Clint, "How angry should you be? Should I react to anger or cold calculation?" Clint looks at him. "React to whatever happens. Don't decide in advance." "But I need to prepare." "You prepare. You don't know what I'm going to do. And if you prepare a specific reaction, it'll be false. Just be in the moment. Listen. Respond to what's real." The young actor is terrified. No rehearsal, no plan, no safety net. They shoot the scene. Clint delivers the monologue. The famous words about the most powerful handgun in the world, about losing count of shots, about feeling lucky. And he does it with such cold, controlled menace that the young actor's fear isn't acting. It's real. His hands shake. His voice cracks. His eyes show genuine terror. Because Harry Callahan is genuinely terrifying. Not performing terror, not indicating threat. Just being a man who will kill without hesitation if the situation demands it. They finish the take. Siegel watches the playback. Smiles. That's the movie. Right there. The young actor is shaking. Jesus Christ. I've never been that scared in my life. Clint walks over. Calm. Friendly. "You did great. Really great. That fear was perfect. It wasn't acting. I was actually scared." "I know. That's why it worked." By the end of the first week, the entire crew understands. Clint's refusal to rehearse isn't arrogance. It's method. It's understanding that real performance happens in the moment, that you can't plan spontaneity, can't rehearse authenticity, can't prepare truth. You can only show up ready and let it happen. The other actors adjust. Stop asking to rehearse. Stop expecting Clint to workshop scenes with them. They do their own preparation, then show up on set and react to whatever Clint gives them. And what he gives them is always real, always specific, always surprising. Because he hasn't pre-decided anything, hasn't locked into a choice during rehearsal, he arrives at each scene fresh, discovers it in the moment, lets the character respond to what's actually happening, not to what was planned. Years later, an acting teacher uses Dirty Harry as an example in class, shows clips of Clint's performance, asks students what they notice. One student says, "He's not performing, he's just being." The teacher nods. Exactly. That's the difference between technique and truth. Technique is rehearsed, practiced, perfected. It is discovered in the moment. Can't be rehearsed because it doesn't exist until the cameras roll. But how do you get there without rehearsal, without practice? By doing all the work beforehand. By knowing the character so well that you don't need to plan what he'll do. By trusting that if you're fully present, fully in the moment, the right choices will emerge naturally. Another student asks, "But isn't that risky? What if the right choice doesn't emerge?" Then you do another take. But watch Dirty Harry. Watch how many scenes were done in 1 or 2 takes. The risk paid off because Clint was prepared in ways that don't look like preparation. The student considers this. So when other actors saw him not rehearsing, they thought he was unprepared. But actually, he was more prepared than anyone, just differently prepared. Exactly. Dirty Harry is released in December 1971. Makes $36 million on a $4 million budget. becomes one of the highest-grossing films of the year, launches a franchise, creates an icon, and every scene works because Clint refused to rehearse, refused choices before the moment arrived, refused to perform something he'd already performed in rehearsal. He gave every scene the energy of discovery, the reality of first time, the truth of now. That's why the film still works 50 years later. It doesn't feel rehearsed, doesn't feel performed, feels real, feels like events unfold. Because in a way, that's what it was. Clint discovering the character in real time, making choices in the moment, trusting his preparation without performing it. 1976, The Outlaw Josey Wales. Clint is directing and starring. A young actor asks during prep, "When do we rehearse?" Clint smiles. "We don't." "Never?" "I'll block the scene so the crew knows where we'll be. But we won't rehearse the performance." "Why not?" "Because I want your first take to be your first time saying those words as that character. I want the discovery, the uncertainty, the reality of not knowing exactly how it'll go." The young actor is nervous. "What if I mess up?" "Then we'll do another take." "But I bet you won't." Stop trying to control it. When you just let it happen, you'll surprise yourself. The actor does surprise himself, gives a performance that critics call authentic and unforced, natural, real, because Clint gave him permission to not rehearse, to show up and discover, to trust the moment. 1992, Unforgiven. Gene Hackman asks Clint, "Do you want to run through this first?" Clint says, "No, let's just shoot it." Hackman, who's been acting for 40 years, understands immediately. He's worked with directors who rehearse everything to death, and he's worked with directors who trust the moment. Clint is the latter. They shoot the scene, one take. Hackman gives a performance that wins him an Oscar, because he didn't rehearse it, didn't lock into choices, just showed up prepared and let it happen. 2024. Film students study Clint's work, try to understand his process, his method, his approach to acting and directing. They notice he almost never rehearses, almost never does multiple takes unless something goes technically wrong, almost never workshops scenes with actors. And they wonder how it works. How can you make great films without rehearsal, without exploration, without trying different approaches? The answer is simple, but hard to execute. You do all the work before you arrive on set. You know the character so well that rehearsal would be redundant. You trust the moment so completely that planning would be limiting. And when the camera rolls, you don't perform what you planned. You discover what's real. That's what the crew thought was arrogance in 1971. Clint refusing to rehearse, refusing to show his preparation, refusing to workshop with other actors. They thought he didn't care, didn't respect the process. But when the camera rolled, they understood. He cared more than anyone, took it seriously enough to protect the authenticity, respected the process enough to not contaminate it with rehearsal. Because rehearsal kills spontaneity, kills discovery, kills the thing that makes performance real. And Clint understood that at 41 years old, making Dirty Harry, refusing to rehearse. Still understands it at 94, still shows up prepared, still trusts the moment, still refuses to rehearse. Because some things can't be practiced, can only be lived. And the best performances aren't performed, they're discovered in the moment. When the camera rolls, when preparation meets spontaneity, when planning meets presence. That's when truth happens. That's when characters come alive. That's when acting becomes art. The crew thought Clint was arrogant for refusing to rehearse, until the camera rolled, and they saw what preparation without rehearsal looks like. They saw Harry Callahan walk into that office, not Clint Eastwood acting, the actual character, present, real, dangerous. And they understood. This wasn't arrogance. This was mastery. This was understanding acting so deeply that you know what to do and what not to do. Rehearse the blocking. Prepare the character. Show up ready. But don't rehearse the performance. Don't kill the discovery. Don't trade truth for control. Trust the moment. Trust yourself. Trust that if you've done the real work, the right choices will emerge when needed. That's the lesson from September 1971, from the first day of Dirty Harry, from a morning when the crew thought Clint was unprofessional, till the camera rolled and proved them wrong, not with arguments, not with explanations, with results, with a performance so real, so present, so authentic, that it's still studied 50 years later. Because Clint refused to rehearse and discovered Harry Callahan in the moment. That's not arrogance. That's art.